Why does it take so long?
Just tired of waiting for it.
I wish they'd hurry up and get on with it.
I'm quite excited for it. It depends on how they do it.
That's the sort of shoddy end of town, so this end's a nice end of town. It needs developing.
There's nothing going on in Farnham anymore, everything's empty.
I'd like to keep the individuality of the shops so it doesn't become like any other high street.
It's just horrible. It's horrible when you walk in from that end.
Want development, yes, of course want development, but within keeping.
I would love for there to be a more kind of youthful community, like a cinema, a Wagamama's, M&S, McDonald's.
We have a very strange situation in Farnham. We have businesses which are going put out of business because of early closures. Places like the Marlborough Head pub, which was closed quite early with no real need to. The bowling green was closed early. The whole life of the area has been sucked out.
It doesn't do any favours for Farnham.
We just need more people in Farnham.
People are wanting more of an experience in town, and that doesn't mean shopping now.
Just ugly and derelicts and, yeah, not happy.
Will it ever happen?
Make it a bit more pedestrian friendly and nicer for people to be in.
Get on with it!
Farnham is about to get a serious makeover. Starting in the next few months, we have two massive developments. It's taken 15 years of planning to get to the point where construction is about to start, yet opinions remain divided about the scheme and its success. There is also concern about the number of new homes being built in the centre of town and the lack of any additional parking spaces once the scheme is complete. So, let's hear what the people of Farnham have to say about all of this.
Farnham is a typical Surrey town.
We've got a castle that's nearly 1,000 years old, loads of high-achieving schools, a world-class university, a fabulous town council who put on some of the best events in the UK, art galleries, classy restaurants, and lots of fabulous boutique shops.
The activity is all down East Street and West Street, which is the principal thoroughfare. It's a rather cowboy town in that sense, American town with everything down one main street. Then has the old town which sits off it, which is Downing Street and the borough. But the principal route through is East and West Street. We have to build more housing. Then let's do it in such a way that it's sensitive to what's special about Farnham and what's unique about Farnham.
We are looking across at the site that is going to be developed as part of the new Brightwells regeneration scheme. Real mixed use site, really great in terms of helping to energise the early evening economy for Farnham and really breathe life back into not just this part of the town but the whole town and the wider community. People who are signed up at the moment: Ask, Carluccio, Sea Salt, who have now signed, obviously Wheel as the cinema provider, Marks and Spencer's Food Plus as another key anchor.
Surrey have chosen to invest in a development that the whole of the commercial retail market has turned down. So there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the idea of investing in Farnham. It's a good idea. It looks all right on paper, but nevertheless the whole of the commercial investment market has turned it down. One or two may be let if you're lucky, and you probably pay them to go in. So after 30 months, I strongly predict, based on 30 years of experience of retail, that the retailers will not come here and those shops will be empty. Those shops that are paying rent, like Marks and Spencer's and the cinemas, will be saying, when are you going to deliver me all my other shops? And they'll stop paying the rent. So the income could collapse. So this has a real potential to be a massive financial disaster. And any investment that relies upon retailers turning up in significant numbers, we're talking about 25 or 30 retailers coming here instead of going to the town centre. If the scheme investment is relying upon that in any way whatsoever to be successful, then it is fundamentally flawed too, by definition.
We have got empty shops in Farnham, no one's going to deny that. I actually see this and you know, talking to the developer and the valuers and the people that we've all worked with over the last few years, we see that this is almost having a dumbbell effect on Farnham. So you've got at one end of the town to the west, you've got Elphick's and the Lion and Lamb Yard with key anchors like Coat and Waitrose. And then you've got this part, the eastern part of of Farnham, which, as I say, is desperately in need of regeneration. And in between you have got some empty shop units.
Stedman Blower Architects have built a superb model of Farnham town centre. It shows the new buildings as white blocks, while all of the existing buildings are made from American walnut darkwood.
We built the model because we wanted to put into the public domain a tool that the public could use to assess the scheme and the appropriateness.
I think a model helps you show scale. It's too easy to hide the inconvenient things in a drawing.
So we've tried as hard as possible to get the correct sort of dimensions for the roof lines, and we've tried to put as much intricate detail in as possible, but not go too far, as it sort of strays away from what a 1 to 200 model really should do, and that's to give the overall sense of scale and size and proportion of certain buildings.
I think that assessment has to come from that understanding of it in its context.
You know, there's a reason we make models. We do it because we communicate. If you want to carry people with you, you've got to be able to communicate your vision. And to do that, you've got to be able to communicate in a way that people can understand it. And if they don't understand it, then they're far less likely to get behind you. And we're passionate about making sure that architecture responds to its context. We love old buildings, but we're open to new ideas.
We need to make sure we have these developments just like this because it keeps these towns going, but at the same time they need to be done right, and they need to be done in a manner that the residents agree with and they think it's going to help the town.
One of the other things to emphasise is the wider benefit that's going to come from the scheme, and one of those is what's called the 106 money, which is the community money. We have drawn up plans to extend the leisure centre. That will be a significant investment both in refurbishing parts of the leisure centre, but also in quite a major extension and a wider leisure offering. From a Surrey County Council point of view, they get again a substantial amount of money towards improving traffic flow and various junctions within the town centre, which, given the concerns around traffic generally, obviously again a really, really important benefit. End of spring 2019 is when they'll be doing all the real foundations and the subterranean works. They're looking at 2020, 2021 to make sure the build out is complete. There's going to be an access bridge where the trees have been taken out. That will then swing over the river, land on this bank, and then traffic for the site can come on and off. That will take about 12 to 14 weeks to construct the bridge.
We've been aware of the size, the sheer mass of this development for many years, and that's always been our concern. An overpowering presence at the wrong end of Farnham, away from the main shopping centre. So you're going to see 239 flats packed closely together, built to minimum sizes, and next to that you're going to have a 6-storey block for the car park, and then the cinema, of course, which will be twice the size of Brightwell House.
Brightwell is only a 2-storey building, and it's going to be surrounded by 3-storey, 4-storey and 5-storey buildings. This car park's going and is going to be replaced by a block of flats. We're at the back of what is going to be the cinema and the car park. So this is going to be a part of the Brightwell's development, and there's going to be shops and apartments. And over here, there's going to be a separate project called the Woolmead, and there's going to be more shops and more apartments.
So the whole thing is going to be dominating this end of Farnham.
You have the opportunity to do something wonderful. It could be modern, it could be in keeping, it doesn't need to be a Tudor mock-up or a Georgian mock-up. It could be fantastically innovative. It's just too big. It doesn't fit the town. We're not opposed to development, but it's got to be the right scheme.
We'd love to hear your thoughts about the development. Please email us at 1bwfilm.fsoc@gmail.com. That's 1bwfilm.fsoc@gmail.com.